was expected to be there 6 days a week, usually stopping in after work. In Reginald's mind, that was the one advantage of being the poor relation living under his uncle's roof. He was only expected to volunteer his time at the orphanage twice a week. Of course, that was in addition to the 6 days a week both men spent working for Rolls-Royce. There were no free rides in the Payton home, the old man thinking that working at a job each day built character. Had the Viscount discovered Reginald had led Payton astray, he'd likely toss Reginald, his wife, and their son out on the street. "Not to worry," Reginald said, turning his attention back to the office. "Your secret of drunken debauchery is safe with me." Reginald watched the men talking in the office, the faces of the two owners, Rolls and Royce, looking drawn, the loss weighing on them. The stolen car, named the Grey Ghost for the color of the body and the quietness of the 4050 engine, had been kept a secret from all but their investors, for fear that someone might try to steal their ideas. Apparently, it had never occurred to them that someone might steal the entire car. Payton's father, the Viscount, had offered the family warehouse to store the car while they were fitting it with its custom coachwork, hoping to enter it into the Olympia Motor Show in just a few months. Reginald and Jonathan had discussed the idea that the vehicle would be more secure there, less likely to fall prey to anyone skulking around the factory, stealing plans. Jonathan, however, was the one who'd presented it. "Tough break, this happening on your watch, don't you think?" Reginald said. "Quite. I expect they'll sack me for it. Have they said anything to you?" "No," Payton whispered, his face paling as Mr. Rolls shook the officer's hand, then escorted him out the door. Mr. Royce stepped out after them, then looked right at Jonathan. "Do you have a moment?" "Right away, sir." Jonathan Payton rose, not looking at his cousin as he walked toward the office. "Close the door." "Yes, sir." He shut the door behind him. Reginald eyed the journals on a cabinet against the wall near the office, casually walking over, picking up the topmost one, pretending to read it. The walls were thin enough to hear what was being said. "You've no doubt heard what happened?" Mr. Royce asked Jonathan. "I have." "You realize what dire straits we're in?" Reginald leaned in closer. In charge of the books, he knew every penny the company spent and what would happen to their investors if they didn't recover that car and start turning a profit. They'd go bankrupt. His uncle, the Viscount, who'd invested everything right along with them. Jonathan's response, though, was covered by the return of Mr. Rolls, who nearly ran into Reginald as he came back from seeing the officer out. "Pardon?" Mr. Rolls said, stepping past him. He started to open the door, paused, looking over at Reginald and then the other young men sitting at their desks, their attention on what was happening in the office. "I dare say we're all frightfully worried over this setback, but we'll get past it. In the meantime, let's all get back to our tasks, shall we?" The young men nodded, as did Reginald, and their employer gave a worried smile, then entered the office. "This is disastrous," he said, pushing the door closed. It didn't latch tight. "We have to find that engine." "Why would anyone bother?" Mr. Royce asked. "The blasted coachwork wasn't even finished." "What do you think?" Rolls replied. "Sending spies sniffing around, trying to best us? Whoever it was, they stole it because they couldn't build anything close to what we have. Problem is, it's still in the prototype stage. If they get it out there before we do, we lose it all. Every investor we have will pull out." "Good point. What if we lose the patent?" Rolls said. "We have to get that car back before the Olympia Motor Show." The policeman suggested we hire a detective. Mr. Rolls made a scoffing noise. "Not sure we want that to get out to our investors. Can't even keep track of our own products before they find their way into the hands of our competitors." Jonathan Payton started to speak, his voice cracking. He cleared his throat and started again, saying, "What about those parts we sent out to be machined? If we could get them back in time, we might have a chance to finish that other 4050. "Brilliant idea," Royce said. "They've got to be ready by now. Give them a ring, Payton. If they're ready, see if they can't get them on..."